All right, we're going to do an update on the International 4800 four-wheel drive truck. A couple things from the last video. Last video I said that I believed it was an aerial bucket truck based on the fact it's a double frame, the way the frame was drilled there, and that is exactly the case. We were cleaning inside the truck and taking some stickers off from the inside, and we found an upfit sticker here that was for the company that did the dump bed. But when I peeled that sticker off, underneath it was Alltech, which, if you don't know, Alltech is an aerial lift company, and based on that we know it was a bucket truck. So now, how did we get to the problem with the drive shaft? A lot of guys had speculations, and I'm going to tell you what I think happened, and I think it's probably the case. When it was originally a bucket truck, this transfer case would have been mounted higher. When they changed this to a dump truck and they wanted to use this massive scissor lift, the only way they could get this scissor lift to work and keep the height down, because we're already four-wheel driving higher than normal, the only way to get the height down was to lay the main runners of the dump bed on the frame and not have a sub-assembly. Well, in order to do that, they had to create clearance for the scissor lift, so they've dropped the transfer case down to make room so that would clear in here, and it just clears. So they dropped this thing down where it probably was originally up here flush at the top, but they've dropped it down enough to clear that. So when you did that, that took this yoke from probably this position up here where it was an angle, fair, you know, a little bit of an angle here, and drops it down to where this is straight. Well, when you drop it down, this length is now shorter. So if you took that same drive shaft, that same length, when it was longer up here and brought it down here, well, there's why we're bottoming out. So that is the gist of that, which really doesn't matter to us, because we're going to take that off. So we'll be able to either correct that by lifting it. If it's a service truck, if it's a wrecker, this axle is going to get moved back, and that gets removed, so we can move that transfer case back up where it was, and we'll have to stretch the drive shaft, or there may be another option in there. So we're not going to commit to anything, but I want to give you some updates because I've got some really neat stuff that I've found and we've got in now, so we're starting to accumulate parts. So I want to show you this. So the first thing, I get a lot of stuff from this PARTSAM company. They make a lot of truck lights and stuff like that, and I saw this and I was really excited to get this. This is a pretty inexpensive light control setup. It is a light control pad. You can see it's just only about maybe ½ inch thick. It's not very thick at all, and it's all aluminum, and it's sealed, and it has power on, backlit, and I keep forgetting to read what that RGB is. I can't remember what that said. I need to read that, but anyways, if it says in here, the panel's good. That must just be the model. It is good for 80 amps. One short press, 5 levels of brightness, long press, setting, enter the setting mode, choose between momentary and strobe mode. Wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't even know that. So if you long press this, it'll put that, whatever it is, a light in strobe mode. That's pretty cool. Momentary mode, strobe mode. Wow, okay. Let's see the RGB, what that means. There's a button to push.
What does it say on the back? Oh, RGB 12 gain. I don't know. Is that?
I don't know. Yeah. Oh, here. There it is. Single color. Loop from 1 to 8 in order. Switch between gradient, jump, breathing. I don't know what all that means. We'll have to look into it. But regardless, there's a lot we can obviously do with this. I like the fact that it's only a 1/2 inch thick, and if you pay attention, there's only just this one plug with 3 wires on it. So this is this panel is obviously communicating with the actual fuse holder control module. And this again is aluminum base, and it's all gel sealed, and it has room for positive and negatives here. And then this plugs in to here as your controller. And what that means to us is this can be inside our truck, and look how long that cable is. And then we don't have to run all of our lighting into the truck. We can mount this in the cabinet, one of the toolboxes of the service body or wrecker bed, depending on which we're going to use. And I thought this was kind of neat. Look here, you got your negative and positive for each light is on here to hook up. So you terminate your circuits right here, and then you got an LED light down in here. I assume that tells you if those are on or off. And then you got a power light on here maybe, and a master off on maybe. I'm not sure, I'll have to look. But you can actually set this up to have so many of these on constant battery power or on ignition power, where they only turn on with the ignition. Spare fuse holder cut out in the back to bring the battery cables in, cut out on the sides to bring oh yeah, look, positive and negative. So this one's a positive, this one's a negative.
Are you positive?
Negative. Alright, so then it comes with one of these fuse jumpers. I never use these. I like to put in my own tap off of the ignition source, and a couple little battery cables. Whoopsie. This would be for your ignition power, so you plug that in and then run it to ignition so you can turn that on. Got some mounting hardware. This is a circuit breaker. It's a 100 amp circuit breaker, so it would be a surge. So if it's good for 80 amps, this is probably gonna, it could surge up to 100, and that's probably where it trips. And this is resettable, so you bring your power in one side, your load in the other. If it exceeds 100 amps, this lever, this here will pop out, this lever will swing out, so you swing it back to reset it. And then it comes with mounting brackets for the module, the control panel, and the actual module. This must be for this one, and the circuit breaker. The other ones are in here. But I was very excited about this because this makes mounting this stuff so much easier, and you're able to keep all that wiring out of the cab of the truck. All you have to do is run this one control wire, and then look at all the different options for lights. These just peel off and stick on here, and they feel heavy, like they're really a thick button. Look at that. You can have locking in your differentials too. Battery isolator, so if you had something, you had another battery, you could set that up to turn on your isolator, all your different lights, light bars. Lots of options there. But anyhow, I'm going to show you what I was thinking with this. I was pretty excited about this when I found it, because this thing's only a few $100. I'm making a mess here. Put this all back in here before I lose it all.
Yep. Did anything else fall?
I don't think. Put this back in here. Put that back in. Put that in there, and close this so the wind don't let it blow away.
Yeah, it's pretty windy out today.
Okay. That'll do. Let's go inside. I'll show you what I was thinking. So I was thinking that this control panel, being though that just uses that cable, I could put it up here or over here to control everything, so it's not congesting up our gauges and stuff, you know. I like it here because it's real easy, and I could aluminum plate across this and put all our other controls up here that we might need. And if not, we can do this. And I also thought I could do that right there. I don't think there's enough room here. But with it being so small, it's so easy to find a place to put it. You know, we could build a stand even and have it here. I just don't like blocking vision, you know. I don't know, but it's a very compact. Yeah, you could do about anything there. I do like it up here though. I think that's best because then you can just turn it on, hit your buttons for all the stuff you want to turn on. Like if you had electric PTO, you could turn the PTO on here. Ours is air powered. But anyways, that's the gist of it. And then you don't have, like I said, you don't have to run all them wires inside. A lot of options. So now I want to show you the other thing I got, because when I saw this, I thought, yeah, we need that. And I'll put a link to this in the description, so if you guys want to use it on your builds, because I've done an awful lot of wiring, and anytime I could save from having to come inside a truck with all the wiring, that would be very helpful. I'm thinking I might get another one of these for my my wrecker, my black wrecker, because I got to redo the lights. That would be nice, because all the switches are there. We can't tell what they're for. Okay, so we'll put a link for that one. And then I found this. I've already unboxed this because it had a lot of stuff, packaging around it to keep it from getting scratched up. This is a double DIN style radio, GPS, navigation, forward facing camera, back facing camera, Bluetooth to your phone, and it is 10 inch screen. So it's meant for a double DIN style radio. That's what this size would be. Actually, I have that upside down. It's meant to go the other way. But anyways, it would go in your dash, and then this part, you pull these things apart here, and you slide this down. I'm not mounted, so you can slide it. Yeah, we'll do it. We won't want to break it.
It's too hard with it.
Anyways,
like
you put
that.
this in the dash, in your double DIN. You can buy adapters that bolt to the side of it for your particular application, and then, of course, they have adapters to plug it in. But it is, it records. Not only does it have forward-facing camera and rear, but it has a place for recording. I don't remember where it was. You have a memory card in here. I'll have to read about it, but I was specifically looking for one that would record, because if you're going to do something with a wrecker and you're going to have a forward-facing camera and back, you need to be able to record what's going on. But it's a 10-inch screen. I mean, that thing's huge. And I found that, and then I found these are from the same company. This is the forward-facing camera. Look how little it is. And you can stick it to your windshield, and you just adjust the camera. And it also records audio as well, which is kind of nice. So we'll be using this inside the truck. And then I thought we could put this for the rear-facing camera. See how little that is? We can use this one on the wrecker boom, so that it's facing whatever we're towing or whatever we're recovering. And if we need it, because I could assume, you know, anytime you're doing towing, if you get someone claimed you did damage or something, you want as many cameras as you can have to catch what it is. So this requires power. So you see the RCA lines they're using here. It adds power in, power and ground. It must need powered up somewhere else. We'll have to look at the directions. But I thought that would be an excellent addition. And I'll show you what I was thinking on this. I thought of this after I got that control panel. I'll show you what I was thinking here. When I ordered this, I ordered it for a 99 F450 because I figured if I couldn't make it work in this truck, I could definitely make it work in one of my other trucks. And I have quite a few Super Duties, and that silver one that you like, maybe. But you can turn this screen and move it and manipulate it and all that. But look here. This is one of them that I thought after I got this, that's why I wanted to move that other one up here, because I could put this behind the dash here, cut that in, and I can tilt this. You can turn this thing towards you so that all of that would be over here, and you wouldn't have, It would pair to your phone. It would give you GPS. You can see your screen easy. I think it's too heavy to go up here without some extra structure, because these things are always broken and loose, but there are places to screw to. I could put it up here. It'd be okay, but if you're driving and you have to look for directions.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I mean, it does have audio directions too, but I thought that would be a great addition to this tow truck, don't you?
Yeah.
Because I can square it up right in this area here and just fill that void. That'd be okay. So I'm excited. I'm gonna insert a picture of what this looks like lit up, because obviously we're not hooking it up right now. It's gonna be a little while before we get this build going, but I'll insert a picture, and then also the link. This wasn't a lot of money either. This was like 300 and something for everything. It wasn't expensive. So we got these two pieces, and I got something else I want to show you. All right, so here's the next two things I've acquired. These are actually stabilizer legs off a crane. So they were originally hooked here at the top and then hooked here. And then what happened was, as the cylinder inside expanded, that outside part would go out farther, and it would push it away from the body. So you needed this pivot right here. We're going to use these on either, whether it's service truck or a wrecker, one or the other. These are going to be on a service truck. They'll be outriggers for the crane, because we'll try and put a good sized crane on it. And this way we'll be able to run these out and down to stabilize the crane, so you can get full use capacity out of the crane. If we're building it as a wrecker, which is, I don't know who I'm kidding, because that's really where I want to go, then we're going to use these as stiff legs. So the way they were used before, this part stayed stationary, the cylinder pushed down here and moved this outside body. Well, we need to change that. We need the outside body on the back of the wrecker to be solidly mounted, and then the inside leg extend out of the body. That way it can come out down here and push down, and this can be secured to the body. Before, this was not a big deal with the crane truck, but for a wrecker, we need this to not move, because we want them on the very back at an angle so they can really push down and bite into the ground. So we'll have to make some plates that slide over top of these with some teeth that we can flip up and really let it bite into the ground. We'll have to do a little bit of changing so that we'll have to make some changes so that the inside moves, not the outside. But that's not a big deal, and we'll get rid of these. We don't need these, we don't need these, and we'll be putting attachment points down both sides for snatch blocks and rigging and all that for recovery. But that's another piece of the puzzle that we've acquired. I've had these for a while, but they didn't belong to me. A friend of mine, they belong to a friend of mine. He just gave them to me for helping him out. And I have a wrecker bed. We do this, it's going to be a Franken bed, because I don't have enough pieces of one complete bed, and I don't want to spend the money it takes to buy the right size bed, because I think that truck should have a 12, 14, or 16 ton bed to make it suitable for its capacity. But I'm really excited because we're starting to come along, but I don't want to start any of this until we get some other stuff done. So that's where we're at with that, and we'll just keep collecting parts. So this is a wrecker bed I bought a while ago, and I bought it not necessarily as much for the bed as the pieces of the bed. It's a Chevron 512, I think. And it's got a 3.5 by 3.5 underreach, which is great because I think I have fork adapters to put forks on to use it as an underreach instead of wheel lift, but it can be used for either or. I bought this and knowing it was, you know, in an accident, so I had to look it over pretty good to make sure it was okay. And with the exception of one bracket that got bent, it's really just cosmetic. It's really not it's not anything that actually hurt the bed. So what had happened was they were towing with this, and they had a truck on the back, and something broke up underneath here. A pin broke, it come loose and sheared off, and it allowed the truck to fall down. And the safety chains that were hooked to it kept the two hooked together. So you know, that's what kept it from anybody getting hurt. But this is a lift cylinder for the underreach. You know, it's massive. It's probably, I don't know, what is that, 7 inches? Yeah, 7 inch. I can't tell if it's 6 or 7. But anyways, what happened was this pin that goes through here goes through sleeves like this. Well, there was another sleeve over there, and that one broke loose. I mean, it ripped the metal loose. And when it did, it allowed it to come down. But that was the only damage that was done, besides one of the brackets on the other side, which will have to be remade or bought from Chevron or somebody. But if you look at the condition of this bed, it's in really nice shape, and the main structure's still straight, and there wasn't any damage. All the valving is here. There's one set of valves here, and you can see the electric valving here. This side is for the underreach. That's what these are. They control the underreach. There's another set of valves over there, and then they use rods to come back here, and they run rods this way and just, you know, transfer the motion from this rod to this rod. So you have handles on both sides. But it's a good, well-built bed, and it's in really nice shape. They had just redid the bed shortly before this happened, and then I bought it. So I got it because the underreach, and you can see it's made pretty stout. That's probably 3/16. I don't think that's quarter. It might be 3/16. It might be quarter. Anyways, 1/4 inch here, let's call it, and then you have 3/16 on the body here. Now we got all the rods and the control knobs that go on it. I think I have all of them, if not most. We didn't get the tow bar for the back, but I have another one, so we'll probably adapt that to go on it. But I have to redo these sides. They're mangled pretty good. It's a shame. It's a really nice bed. We didn't get the recovery boom. It had a twin line. Twin winch recovery boom on it, and I can't remember what the winch ratings were, but I'm looking for another recovery boom. I'll make anything work if it's heavy enough. I want 12 ton or heavier, because this was a 12-ton bed, so 12, 14, 16-ton boom. I'll make it. I'll adapt it to work. So we got the doors for it. You can see, you know, there it was in nice shape. It was just redone. You know, this is really beautiful, but it ended up in a ditch, and that's what did all this damage here. So my thought with this was, there's enough pieces here. The underreach is here, the valving is here, the electronics for the remote control valve is here, and it's in really nice shape. You can see where the reservoir is up here, and this is a 60 cab to axle bed, and they had it on an International, and they had this 36-inch tunnel box here, which I bought separately. You see it's got the stainless polished inside and all around that light pylon, and we got the original light bar that was on it, which we probably won't use that, but we got one of the wheel fairings. We'll need another one, and we got this door, the other door is over here, and then we got the lights that were in it originally, which we'll probably end up upgrading. There's all the bolts for it. There's a 7-pin connector, and then there's a 4-pin in there, and then here's the control for the the wheel lift, which uses that round semi 7-pin, and then the rods for the controls, and then all the knobs. You know, it was a really nice bed, and this is in beautiful shape. So between the two, you end up with 96 cab to axle, kind of weird. So I thought about putting these two together, but maybe leaving a space between the truck and the cab, and maybe doing something else there. And I'll show you what it'll look like on the truck. Cab to axle again is 60 on this, but from the center of the wheel, which is actually right here, from there back is 34, 36 inches, somewhere around there. And I don't have the specs from Chevron as to where it's supposed to be and what the length should be and all that. Anyway, I'll show you how it lays out on the truck. And I thought, since we're going to be using it on a full drive truck, these are designed to be on a much smaller truck. You know, that's why this wheel opening doesn't go any higher. It was on a truck with 19.5s. We're going 22.5s. So what we might do is open the wheel arch more as far as width wise, but because we're going to be so much higher, we have the ability to bring this body line down farther before we kick it in, so we could have a bigger toolboxes. And then we might just make our own tunnel box and not use that one, you know, so that we can match this. Or since I have to redo this side completely, maybe I just have this whole side made to the correct length I want and then make my own pass through. That'd be interesting, because this is kind of a small toolbox for like a recovery, you know, and we're going to be about probably near a foot higher on our frame height than your typical 19.5 International. So we'd be able to bring this thing down clear to here and get a lot more in there. Plus, we don't have to have this like this. We could have this up higher and have our tunnel box up higher and have a lot more storage, which I would like. So let me show you how this lays out on the truck. Okay, so here you see this is our 84 cab to axle. That's what we currently set at. And the way that is set up now, we'd be at 8 foot. And then you would need 3 foot after that for the bed. So 8 would be 11. So we'd be right here. Well, that leaves another foot of frame that we could use. So I'm wondering if I should just build since I got to redo them sides, maybe we can redo the sides and utilize this and move this axle back farther. So we need 3 feet back here for sure. So if we take 12 foot, come up here to 9 foot, make this our center of axle, that'd be okay. That'd be our center of axle. Our tires are 11R22.5, so that's about 40 inches. So we're gonna come up 20, so that's 128. Here's the back of our tire, and then this would be the back of our bed, right in this area. I think I'd be okay with that. But that means that we're changing this from an 8 foot to a 9 foot. So I either have to not use that tunnel box or use that tunnel box but stretch the bed sides. That's probably smarter, huh? The problem is, if you stretch that bed from a 60 cab to axle to a 72, it's weird. You know, it's not a common size, so it's on this truck for life. It would be probably smarter if I left that 1 foot gap and maybe created some type of side puller up here. Wouldn't that be cool? I'd have about 12 inches to get a side puller in here. Not a lot of room, but it's doable. I don't know. Food for thought. Those are things that we're working on right now. I do have one other wrecker bed that we could possibly use, but I think it's actually a lighter rating than that one. So, and this one's in much better shape as far as rust is concerned. Both of them would need lots of work to make it work on this, but those are the thoughts, man. That's where we're at right now. And this is kind of the process that I go through with every truck. I consider what we have, what we don't have, what is best, what isn't, and it takes a while, but thought I'd bring you along. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.